Work today? Hey, it worked today. All right. Hey, everyone. What's going on? Today, I want to talk about the greatest sales lesson I ever learned. It was a long time ago. I think it was in like 2000, maybe 2001. I was probably 2000. I was in the car business, and there was a sales guy. I was really lucky because that business is notorious for people who aren't really good at sales and just kind of liars and cheaters. But when I got a job at a dealership, I happened to work at a really good one, and there was a lot of great salespeople that just happened to sell cars. And one of them that taught me the greatest lesson, his name is Vic Sierra, and he was a fantastic salesperson. And I'm going to teach you how you can use this, what he taught me, how you can use it on your calls. So basically, Vic was working with this girl who came in, and she came in looking for a used car. And she came in, she says, I'm looking for a used Civic EX. And we didn't have it. Right now, most salespeople would say, "Oh, we didn't have the EX," and then she left. But what Vic was genius. So what he did is he was like, "Yeah, okay. So like, what is it about the EX that you like?" And she was like, "Well, it just looks sleeker." And he's like, "I agree. Why do you think it looks sleeker?" And she was like, "Oh, it's just the way the way it looks, and this and this and this." And he's like, "Okay, well, with the EX, is it the moonroof? Do you care about that?" She's like, "No." Actually, I just screwed up the story. First, he said, "What is it about the EX you like? Is it the moonroof?" She's like, "No, I don't really care about that." "Is it the VTEC engine, the extra horsepower?" She goes, "No, I don't care about that." And he goes, "Well, what is it then?" And she goes, "I don't know. I just think it looks sleeker." And he says, "I agree. Why do you think it looks sleeker?" And she waits for a few minutes, and she's like, "Well, you know what? The little molding on the side, it's not black like the LX. It matches the color of the car. And also the mirrors are painted and match the color of the car." And he's like, "Oh, okay. So what you're telling me is basically is if we take an LX and we paint the mirrors and the body molding, then that would work for you and save you probably $2,000-$3,000. And she's like, "Yeah." And that was a huge, huge shift about finding out the why behind things. Not just saying, "Oh, they wanted this." Right? We used to make a joke, and some salespeople weren't very good. We used to say they were order takers, right? When we hear them talk, we'd say, "Do you want fries with that?" That's how they would sell. But Victor was a professional. So he took a lady that everyone else at the dealership, most people would have just said, "Oh, she wanted EX, they're leaving." But he found out what it was. It wasn't the VTEC engine. It wasn't the moonroof, whatever. It was just that. So when he figured out, like, okay, so if I just paint this and paint that, save you about $3,000, you'd be okay with the LX. And she's like, "Yeah." And he sold her the LX. It's genius, right? So how do you do that in your coaching calls, right? Well, you got to find out what's behind everything. You know what I mean? If someone tells you, "I want to make $50,000, great. But what the heck is $50,000 a month in the bank? What is that going to do for you? It's going to do this for me." And you got to find out, okay, why? The whole saying is if you ask why 5 or 7 times, you get to the real answer. So just don't take the things at face value. Be a professional. And Victor, my hat goes off to you, dude. That lesson stuck with me my whole life. And that was fantastic. It was one of the greatest lessons I've ever got in sales. I don't know anyone else at that dealership that would have actually did that. Vic, thanks, buddy. All right, everyone. Take care. See ya.